down on the mat. We're going to do just a little centering on the belly, then some positional reliefs for the hip and some somatics for the neck and shoulder. So just for now, as we center, I'd like you to find comfortable. And ideally you're symmetrical, so you can have the feet wider than hip width apart or all the way together. See if you can bring the arms into similar, same position. And if it's comfortable to rest forehead on hands with nose pointing down, so the neck is neutral, do that. And if that doesn't feel quite comfortable, turn the head to one side. And I'll try to cue you to change direction of the head so you work both sides of the neck. So just take time. I like to say, wiggle yourself into stillness. And once you establish that place for stillness, I'd like to welcome you to take a long, deep inhaling breath. And when it's time to exhale, a sense of softening, releasing through the whole body. Maybe there's a sigh as you release. And just work with breath and body in this way for 2 to 3 more breaths. But that exhale is an invitation for the body to become heavy, soft, pliable, and at ease. Just release. Soften through the feet and legs. Relax through the belly, chest, and back. Soften through the hips and pelvis. Allow shoulders to sink, arms and hands to release, and relax the neck and throat, face and head. Whole body releasing. And as you invite the body into a place of release, to welcome yourself to your practice, to notice and acknowledge whatever is present for you. The ease or challenge of relaxing, the challenge or ease of being present. Notice the general tone of the body. Is the body held tight? Or have you been able to soften? Maybe one area feels tight and the other area soft. So become a sleuth, like you're taking a magnifying glass full of wonder to explore each area of the body. What are you noticing now? And how are you relating to what you are noticing? Are you being kind, accepting? And if not, what happens if you bring some kindness and acceptance to your observation? Noticing, acknowledging what is without resistance. And with the mouth closed, see if you can make your breath slightly audible. So turn up the volume on the breath. Make it so you can hear the breath coming in. And also hear the breath going out. Breath coming in And breath going out. And I'd like you to maintain connection with the sound of the breath as you draw your right knee up toward the hip, coming into half frog, so knee at hip level, ankle below or slightly behind the knee. And here we imagine a bag of rice lying on the lower back, and the feel of that gentle weight, just letting the hip and pelvis sink toward the ground. Continuing to release and soften through the hips and pelvis as your left arm moves down to your side and you turn your head to look at the right elbow. So bring the right hand beneath your cheek so that you're looking at that right elbow. So right knee out to the right, right elbow out to the right. And on the in-breath, raise the right elbow up toward the sky. Feel the working through the shoulder joint. And very slow motion, as if you were pressing into an enormous amount of resistance. Take that elbow slowly back down to your mat. When the whole arm touches down, relax the whole arm, especially the shoulder. And please do that 3 more times, lifting up, pointing that elbow toward the ceiling best you can. And then that strong sense of resistance. As you press and press, steady, long, steady pressure as you bring the arm down. And when the arm is down, soften. 2 more times your pace. And we're sensing and feeling this journey. What engages, what relaxes as we go up and down. We're noticing the fine details of the body moving. And the very last time your arm comes down, steady yourself in stillness. Arm is soft, whole body soft. And just begin to note the rise and fall of your breath. Feeling each inhale, feel every exhale. And once you've taken a few breaths in stillness, to please straighten the left leg, both legs out straight, hands to crocodile position. So we're bringing the hands underneath the forehead with right hand resting on top of left and the forehead pressing downward on top of the hands. Please keep your nose pointing downward. Draw the legs as close to each other as is comfortable. And on the inhale, let the head float away from the hands, nose continues to point down. And as you exhale, forehead finds the hands again. And go 3 more times. As you pace the movement to the breath, be alert to what you're feeling in the upper spinal muscles. Exploring the space between the shoulder blades, exploring what's happening beneath the shoulder blades. And the last time you come up, hold up. If I've missed you, I welcome you to come back. And if the arms feel a little bit too forward, walk them in if that feels more helpful to support you as we hold here. Nose pointing down, stay and feel. Adjust for ease and give it 4 more breaths. Best you are able, count out 3 more breaths. And when your breaths are done, lay the head back down and pause in stillness a moment. And we're going to come into a half frog with the opposite leg. So I believe that's left leg for most of you. So left knee out to the left, ankle below the knee. The right arm is alongside your body and the left hand is under your cheek. You're looking at your elbow. So your elbow and your knee are pointing in the same direction. And we take a few moments to settle here, imagining a bag of rice or a sandbag resting on your lower back. And imagine that gentle weight, not too heavy, gentle weight, allowing hips and pelvis to soften toward the ground. Turn up the volume on your breath, Ujjayi breath. Even see if you can lengthen out the exhale a bit. And with hand on floor, on your next inhale, raise the elbow, left elbow to the sky. And on your exhale, pressing against resistance as you take the elbow down. And when it's down, soften. And then again, inhale, lift. And exhale, lower, slow against resistance. Once you're out, soften. And then please do 2 more lifts and lowers on your own. Feeling and sensing what's going on in the body. Maybe detecting similarities or differences between the 2 sides. And the very last time that elbow comes down, let it all release. Take a couple of breaths. And in your time, please straighten out the left leg. Return the hands to crocodile position. Right hand on top of left, forehead on top of hand. And with your nose pointing down, inhale, lift the head up. And exhale, bring the forehead to hands. Do that 3 more times. Sensing and feeling, connecting with the body. The last time or the next time you lift the head up, hold there. Draw the arms into Sphinx, so elbows toward your waist, lower arms, palms and fingers on the floor. Spread the fingers wide, and then separate your feet so the feet rest a little wider than the outer edges of your hips. Adjust the pelvis so you're resting comfortably. And notice if you can relax the belly, allowing the belly, the pubic bone, pelvis to sink to the ground. Some working here for 4 more breaths, others spreading fingers and pressing up into seal pose, straight arms, engaged arms, pelvis on the floor, reaching through the toes. And if you'd like 3 more breaths, belly keeps softening, draping down, 2 more breaths. Once you're done, just bend the arms so the elbows come to the floor and then glide the hands back so they're alongside your chest. Bring the legs back to hip width. Press up first to table. From table, wait for an exhale and ease into a bent knee down dog. And with the knees bent, just wag your tail slowly left to right. And feel how far you want to wag. So maybe it's just a little wag. You're sort of happy. Maybe it's a big wag, really happy wag. And we'll all take it down nice and slow. And we bring the tail, tailbone to center, tailbone up and back. And then right knee bends, left heel extends toward the ground. And hold it. And if there's no sense of stretch in the back of that left leg, wiggle the foot back a little bit and then work the heel down and see if you find that sweet spot. And let's give it 3 more breaths. Right knee bent, left heel down. When your breaths are done, ease off the heel, bend the left knee, and reach the right heel down. It may or may not touch the ground. Keep pressing back through the heels of the hands, neck, face, head relax. And 3 more breaths. And stay 2. When you're done, rise onto 10 toes before drawing both heels down and hang on for 3. And reach it back, stay 2. Now, once done, I'm going to ask you to walk your feet halfway toward your hands. Bend the knees a whole lot here and bring each hand up onto a thigh. Lift the sternum away from the belly so you're even toward a halfway lift. Broaden through the buttocks. Round the feet. Keep the heels on the ground, the balls of the feet on the ground, but see if you can lift the toes. Reach back with the tail, lift the toes. And now press into your thighs. Push a neutral spine up. When up, draw the arms forward and up, add a little bit of a back bend, reach back, soften the shoulders, hold here a breath. When ready, inhale, exhale, bend the knees, swan dive, still all the way forward. Hands find shins, inhale, halfway lift. Let's exhale into chair pose, bend the knees, reach the hips back, bring hands to prayer position. Draw the sternum away from the belly, melt the shoulders down the back. Drishti, focal point, breath. Let's stay for 4. Deep inhale. Full exhale, 3. Sitting low, 2 more breaths. When you're done, tail rises on an exhale. Spill forward, release everything. Walk hands up onto shins below the knees and inhale, lengthen. Straighten the legs here, but try not to lock the knee joint. So as the legs move toward what feels locked, so before you get to locked, stop and then tighten the leg muscles to the bone. Draw the arms back, arms alongside the body, palms facing in. Stay 3 breaths, skier tuck, lower the hips a little more, stay 2. And when done, arms sweep down and they draw you up, reach up, stretch up, 1 more little back bend. And then palms together, exhale, hands come to heart, Samastiti, balanced pose. Take a moment, let the thumbs rest on your sternum. And tune into the feel of the heart. Feel the rise and fall of breath. And gather up as much of your attention as possible. And try to welcome a felt sense of the whole body. Embody the whole body. Just another breath in stillness. As you feel ready and complete, release the arms. I'm going to welcome everyone to face the very front edge of their mat. With feet aligned at hip width, we're going to set up our warrior 1 with the right foot forward. So as ready, left foot goes back. And let yourself move about here. Find your optimal footing. Feet will be at least hip width apart. We're orienting the whole trunk forward. And we're going to take the right hand on the hip. And on inhale, raise the left arm up. And exhale, right knee over the ankle. Inhale, straighten the leg. Keep the leg straight. Exhale, half fold. Inhale, right knee over ankle, back to warrior pose. Exhale, front leg straighten, hinge from the hips, half fold. Inhale, warrior. This is our third warrior. We're going to do 2 more. Exhale, half fold. Inhale, right knee over ankle, rise up. Exhale, half fold. Now our holds. So right knee bends over the ankle. We raise the spine. Find the sternum, draw the sternum away from the navel. If it's comfortable to reach the arm back, reach it back a little. So we're getting a very gentle arcing, a very gentle back bend here. Soften your gaze. Find balance through the soles of the feet, all 4 points of feet grounded, heart lifted. Find a center of ease and courageousness. How do ease and courageousness live together in the body? Full breaths for 3 more. And stay 2. Whenever you're done, slowly straighten the leg. Right hand on front of the hip. Draw the right hip back a little and keep drawing that right hip back as you hinge toward halfway. Now, if this feels a lot to have your arm by your head here, draw the arm to your side body or even hands on hips and stay for 3. Reaching, lengthening, stay 2. When you're done, to again bend that right knee over the ankle, rise up, bring the hand down to the hip. We're going to challenge our balance a little bit here. I'm going to ask everyone to lean a little forward, bring attention to the right leg. We're going to glide that left foot forward and up, eventually bringing the arms up into Sphinx position. Let's move in and out of this. Let's inhale. On the exhale, reach the left leg back, bend the right knee back to warrior. Inhale, lean forward, glide the left knee forward and up into Sphinx. Let's play with it 2 more times. Don't take it too seriously, but take it slow and find those points of balance. We're going to hold the last Sphinx pose. So the last time you come forward and rise up into Sphinx, hold here, soften the shoulders. Hands can be wider than the shoulders for ease, and stay for 3 more breaths. And stay 2. Just because we can, when done, we're going to challenge our balance and motion again. We're going to reach that leg back. We'll find warrior 1. Nice work. Let's inhale warrior 1. Exhale, swan dive, hands to floor. Inhale, forward, foot back. Find your plank really firm through the belly. Gaze is down, breath is full. And let's stay for 5. Spreading fingers wide, stay 4. Give it 3 more breaths. And 2 more breaths. When done, yogic push up, knees drop, elbows bend, chest and chin down, belly down. And on inhale, cobra or upward dog. And on exhale, downward dog. Stay in your dog, maybe walking the dog a little bit. Maybe you're stretched way out in a long dog position. You could call it Dachshund position. Or a short dog position, maybe a little boxer. And let's stay 3 breaths. And 2. When you're done, move the feet toward the hands, ragdoll position. Bend the knees, arms like wings. Let's inhale and bring it all the way up, stretch up, look up, maybe a little back bend. And then palms together, hands to heart, samasthiti, thumbs on sternum. attention directed inward. And we open to that internal wonderland of our existence. Nice full breaths. Here the hands can release. We'll again find ourselves up toward the front edge of the mat. And here we're going to take the right foot back. And from this position, exhale, bend the left knee over the ankle, sweep the right arm overhead. Stay here, inhale, reach up. As you exhale, the left leg straighten, you're hinging from the hips, coming halfway down. And on the inhale, knee over ankle, arm up. So remember, if this is feeling too strong on your back, to do the movements with the hands on the hips. Exhale, straight leg, hinge from hips. Inhale, knee over ankle, rise up. And 2 more times, exhale, arm stays beside the ear, working with the arm. Inhale, warrior pose. And here's our 2 more sets. Exhale, fold. Last set will hold. Inhale, warrior pose. Here's the first hold. Knee over ankle, arm in the sky. Settle the shoulder. Maybe lifting sternum away from navel, arm going a little back. Find that little taste of a back bend. And breathe full breaths. Let's stay together for 4. Courage and ease dancing together. Stay 3. Hang on, 2 more breaths. When you're done, first inhale, straight leg. Draw left hip back as you exhale, long spine, hinge from hips on either by the head or hand to hips. Hug leg muscles to the bone, protect those knees. Full breaths. And let's stay for 4. Left hip drawing back, right fingers reaching forward, stay 3. Find that diagonal, stay 2. When you're done, back to warrior. Inhale, knee over ankle, arm rises up. Once up, take the other arm up, reach up. And on your exhale, swan dive, bring it down, hands to floor. Forward foot back to plank pose. And from plank pose, yogic push up, knees, chest and chin down. And on in-breath, cobra or up dog, shoulders roll back, breath is full. And let's stay here together for 4 breaths. Deep inhale, full exhale, stay 3. Give it 2 more breaths. When you're done, please inhale, table. And on exhale, bend the elbows, forehead toward floor, buttocks toward heels, child pose. Take the arms down so your hands are near your feet, shoulders melting downward, and breath moving into the back body. 3 deep breaths into the back. When those breaths are done, move the arms forward alongside your head. Use your fingertips to walk the arms away. Spread your fingers, ground the hands and fingers, and draw up first to table. Once in table, step wrists forward of shoulders. Cow pose, so raise the tail, sink the belly, press the hips halfway back toward the heels, puppy stretch. Let the chest release down through the shoulders and find the breath. Find the shoulder blades, the space beneath the shoulders.
What happens if you try to squeeze the shoulders together gently here and then try to draw them apart? And give it 2 more breaths. When those 2 breaths are done, lower buttocks toward heels, arm by the head. It's a good strong core pose. So from here, let your forehead float away from the floor and lift the arms so they're by your head. Use your core, draw navel to spine, sink into shins, inhale, rise up to knee stand. Exhale, firm belly, hinge from hips, hands to floor. With your inhale, table pose, and exhale, curl the toes under, hips back, downward dog. And you be in your down dog however you want to, maybe walking dog or finding full expression. Work it any way you'd like. Take the time with it that you'd like. And eventually, when you're ready, bring your feet halfway toward your hands. In this halfway position, the knees bend, the hips sink, reach the arms behind you. Draw the sternum away from navel, lift the arms, lift the chest, spread the fingers, gazes forward, widen the glutes. Inhale up on the toes. Exhale, heels down. Inhale up on the toes. Exhale, heels down. Now inhale, sweep the arms forward, rise up with the arms, little back bend, and exhale. Open the arms through T position. Land the hands at the heart and feel the beat of the thumbs or the beat of the heart beneath the thumbs. Maybe your thumbs are beating, I don't know. And when ready here, I welcome you to turn to face the long edge of your mat. We're going to come into, well, actually, let's come into hip width position. And we'll play a little bit with a little bit of moon imagery here. Oh, we skipped a pose, Helen is telling me. So I'm going to take you back to that pose. Thank you, Helen. Feet at hip width at the front of the mat. We're going to step back with the right foot into warrior. The left knee is bent over the ankle. Hands are on hips or at your side. Inhale, lean forward. Draw the right knee forward and up, arms up, Sphinx or stalk pose. Exhale, the leg reaches behind. We go back to warrior stance. Inhale, sweep forward and up. Exhale, bring it back to warrior. And 2 more times. Inhale, you can keep the arms up. You can move the arms. Exhale, back. Last one will hold, so weight transferring left as the right knee draws forward and up. Level the hips, find the breath, and let's stay for 4. Thanks for the reminder, Helen. Stay 3. Give it 2 more breaths. When done, please lower your foot, lower your arms. Land the feet, hands to prayer at the heart. And we pause. And we feel the effects of that motion or balance in motion. Nice full breaths. And now we'll actually turn and face the long edge of the mat. And we're going to start with a short straddle. So feet a little wider than the outer edges of your hips. It should feel pretty comfortable and stable. And here, as you inhale, sweep the arms out as if you were tracing a full moon. And as you exhale, palms together, hands to heart. And let's repeat that 3 more times. Inhale, sweep up, trace the moon, gaze goes up, look up. Exhale, thumbs to heart, watching the thumbs. And one more time. Tracing that full moon. And then from here, sweep the arms out to T position. Turn the heels in, the toes out. And from 5-pointed star, exhale, bend the knees into goddess. And inhale back to 5-pointed star. Exhale, goddess. Inhale, 5-pointed star. And 2 more times. And the last time in that goddess, you find your spot of not too much and not too little. Anchor the feet for 4. Full presence, stay 3. Settling low, 2 more breaths. When you're done, press into the feet, rise up into 5-pointed star. Spin the toes forward, let the heels go out. This will probably open your stance a little bit. That's fine as long as you feel stable. Shoulders melting down the back. Feel the body engage. So the feet pressing down, you're reaching through the fingers. You're rising up through the crown of the head. So attention moves out to the extremities and then out from the extremities to the very core or the center of your being. Let your attention move in and out from center to extremities. Can you bring more ease, peace of being into the pose? Watching the inner response to sensation. If available, 2 more breaths. When breaths are done, slowly let the arms float to your sides. And when the arms are done, let them fully relax. Maybe sensing the flow of energy or blood toward your fingers. And then from here, half salute, inhale, arms sweep up, look up. Engage the legs, exhale, swan dive, fold all the way forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Ground the feet, sweep the arms open, open the heart, rise up, stretch up, look up, gaze to thumbs, and exhale, bring the hands to the heart. Pause briefly. From here, please release the arms, taking right heel, spinning it to point to the arch of the left foot. We're going to find the hip crease of the right leg and take the thumb and index finger right into the hip crease of the right leg. And once your hand is in the hip crease, take the opposite hand, left arm up to the sky, reach up. And as you exhale, swim that left arm behind the back. You can rest the back of the wrist on the back. And as you exhale, sink into the hip crease. Keep the spine long and just tilt the pelvis as far to the right as it will go. And then inhale, bring the pelvic bowl to an upright position. Exhale, sink into the hip crease, spill the pelvic bowl right, keep the spine long. Inhale, rise up. No sense of bending of the spine here. So we spill the pelvis as far as it can go. Once you're there, hold, engage the muscles of the legs. Align the neck and head with above the shoulder girdle and roll that left rib cage up. And if you'd like, turn your gaze up toward the left shoulder. Full breaths, firm belly for 4. And stay 3. 2 more breaths. When you're done, keep your hands in position and rise up again. And once you're up, look right, bend the right knee over the ankle, look down to check your alignment. Once established, arms like wings, gaze is right for a moment. Here, let the left arm go down, watch your right fingers, bring the arm up, lean backwards into warrior 2. Don't back out of the right knee, keep the knee out over the ankle. And holding, reverse warrior for 4. Long full breaths, stay 3. Hang on, 2 more breaths. When you're done, bring it up to T position, warrior 2, before straightening the leg, releasing the arms, and allow the toes to spin forward. Hands at prayer, half salute. Inhale, sweet tall stretch up, look up. Engage the legs, swan dive. Hold all the way forward. Hands to shins, inhale, lengthen halfway up. Exhale, fold. Ground the feet, arms sweep open and up, rise up, stretch up. Bring your gaze up, bring the hands to the heart. Thumbs on sternum, and once again we stop, we pause. And we tune in to the sound, the rhythm, the felt sense of the heart beating within your chest. Heart beating, the flow of breath, and whatever sensations present themselves within this moment. What's arising now? Please allow the hands, the arms to release. Let's set up that warrior 2 other side. So spinning the left heel to point to the right arch. Right toes turning in slightly. Left index finger and thumb slip into the left hip crease. And once the hand is in the hip crease, raise the right arm up, reach up, and then swim that right arm down behind your back, tucking it back there in a way that works for you. And then we think about spilling the pelvic bowl. So on exhale, we spill the pelvic bowl to the left. And inhale, we back it up. It might be a totally different thing on this side. So just notice, exhale, spill left. And inhale, release out. And 2 more, best you are able. And we'll hold it next time, spilling to the left, left hand sinking firmly into the hip crease. Top rib cage, right rib cage is rolling back. Head aligns with shoulders first and then turns to look slightly upward. Firm the tummy, ground the feet, tighten the legs. Hold on with me for 4 more breaths. Focus and presence, stay 2 more breaths. Take your time. When those breaths are complete, let the left knee start to bend, rise back up, open the arms to T position, gaze left for a moment, melt the shoulders down. First, right hand lowers down onto the right leg. And as you raise the left arm up, let your eyes follow your fingertips and take it all the way back. Gaze is forward or up to the arm, Left knee steadies over the ankle, muscles a hugging bone, and attention comes to the wonder of what's arising inside. Follow breath as you hold for 4 more. All the time you need. Whenever you're done, start to straighten the left leg, arms like wings. Toes spin forward, 5-pointed star pose. Melt the shoulders down. Find your place of buoyancy. Floating in the sky or floating in the sea. What do you prefer? Stay with breath. Not too rigid, not too soft. Four more breaths. Whenever your breaths are done, ease the arms down. And walk the feet toward one another, heel toe, and let's land with the feet at hip width distant and parallel. Let's do a classic half moon or quarter moon pose. So classical alignment is both arms overhead with the hands in steeple position. That means the index fingers up. Sometimes this can feel too much, so know that you can take one arm down as we go in. So we're going to start by leaning to the right. So if you prefer one arm variation, right arm is at your side. So we're going to ground through the feet, draw the leg muscles to the bone, and allow the 4 sides of the rib cage to lift away from the pelvis. So get a sense of lengthening through the front, back, and side bodies. Really lifted rib cage. Shoulders sink downward, and there's a spaciousness between the arms and the head. Ground the feet, they stay firm on the floor. And as you slowly displace the hips to the left, you start to lean to the right to form a crescent moon or form a half moon. And that left rib cage stays back, and we hold for 4. And if it's feeling too much, release that right arm down, stay 3. Give it 2 more breaths. When you're done, inhale, rise up. Exhale, fingertips trace the moon, and eventually return back to the heart at prayer position. Pause a moment, take a breath. And then as ready, inhale, trace the moon as the arms come up. Land the hands in steeple position. Some will lower left arm down. Ground the feet, 4 sides of the rib cage lift, lengthen out of the pelvis. Let the shoulders settle down. Ground the feet, engage the legs. And as you exhale, hips move a little right as you start to bend to the left. Your spot, not too much, not too little. Gaze can remain forward or turn up toward the arm. For 3 more breaths. And stay 2. Give it 1 more. When you're done, inhale, rise up. The next position is a back bend. So if you're a real strong back bender, you might choose to keep the arms overhead. The rest of us who are a little more gentle with the back will want to bring the hands down to the lower back, pressing the elbows back. Wherever you are, hips displace a little forward, sternum draws away from the navel, and you find your back bend. If you're working the arms overhead, they stay by the head and hold Check in with the neck. If there's pressure there, tuck the chin. 3 more breaths. Then following your back bend, inhale, rise to standing. Knees will immediately bend and you go slowly. Bring the hands to the top of the thighs. Press into the thighs as you first find halfway position. Broaden through the buttocks. Reach through the crown of the head, anchor the feet. And you might choose to stay here. Some on exhale, bend the knees a little more and lower the belly, chest toward the thighs, and eventually relax the neck and head. Some might like releasing hands to floor, others will work right here. So whatever you choose, 3 more breaths. Please count your breaths. When it's time for you to rise up, head goes first, head aligns with shoulders, hands are on thighs, press into thighs. Long spine coming up, when up, sweep forward and up, slight back bend. And let the exhale return you to Samasthiti, balanced pose. Thumbs on sternum. And just land right here, drop in. Full body awareness. Let's all come to the front of the mat as we prepare to transition to the floor. We'll work a side balance pose once on the ground. If you prefer a full Vaisthasana, the full side balance, please do that. I'm going to teach a knee down variation. So inhale, sweep up, stretch up, look up. Bend knees, swan dive, fold all the way down. Hands on shins, halfway lift. Exhale, knees bend a lot. We're going to drop or step back into plank. From plank, some of you are going to spin right. Some of you are going to bring right knee to floor first. Wag right foot off the mat. Spin the left heel down to touch the edge of the mat and then left arm up. Find your breath. Gazes forward or up. That back foot, that left foot stays on the ground or rises up to hip level. You choose. Firm tummy, full breath. And let's stay together for 4. Count your breaths, steady, quiet presence. The transition will be back to table pose. And from table, please take it down into child. 3 deep back body breaths when you get to child. I want you to pace this for you. Eventually, when you're done, you're going to either come to table or plank. So if you're doing full side plank, you'll go to plank and then side plank. Those of us coming to table will wag the left foot off the side of the mat, straightening the right leg, bringing the heel to the edge of the mat, and eventually right arm goes up. Find the opening here, the length through the arm, and then if ready, flex the right foot, raise the right leg to hip level. Firm tummy, full breaths. And we'll stay here, breathing. Maybe smiling, observing for sure, for 4 breaths, and count 3. When your breaths are done, the leg and knee come down, the hand comes down, and once again, buttocks sink back to heels, child pose. Adjusting head and arms in any way that feels right for you. Soften the jaw. Turn up the volume on your breath. Gentle, soft ujjayi, ocean sounding breath. Let the sound of the breath take you deeper into yourself. Let the sound of the breath kind of drone out other sounds, other thoughts. And from here, I invite you all to transition onto your back. We're gonna do some pelvic tilts, and we're gonna integrate the pelvic tilts into bridge and knee to chest pose. So we'll be synchronizing with the breath the best that we can. So adjust the feet, ankles beneath the knees, center of heels pointing to center of buttocks. Arms at your side body, shoulders down, palms down, chin slightly tucked, long neck. And let yourself just stop here for a moment to feel the support of the floor beneath you, to soften any area of unnecessary holding, and to reconnect with the sense of being in your body. We'll start on an exhale. So when you're exhaling, draw the belly to the spine and flatten the lower back into the ground. And as you inhale, let the belly relax and return and exaggerate the arch to the lower back. Exhale, flatten the back. And inhale, arch the back. And move with attention, get really aware of how this feels for you. We're going to start to add bridge pose. So the next time you exhale, flatten, press into the feet and lift, all on the exhale. And on the inhale, lower the back down and arch again. Exhale, flatten and lift. Inhale, lower and arch. Try it 3 more times at your own pace. Really utilize the strength of the legs so that you're pressing down through the feet and reaching through the knees as you rise up. And you maintain a steady distance between the legs as you come down, that space between the leg never changing as you lift and lower. Please don't rush it, but the next time you come into bridge, I'm going to ask you to hold it, and I'm going to ask you to hold with the arms bent. So your upper arms are on the floor. The elbows are on the floor, the palms of the hands are facing one another. Please press down through the upper arms as you reach out through the knees. Find that optimal lift. Once in, hold it. Maybe raising the toes, balls of feet, heels down. And you come to that steady alertness. And you soften mentally into what's arising in the body. As long as it's not sharp or shooting, you're safe. Follow the sensation. It might be hard. Stay with it best you can for 4 more breaths, pressing down into the upper arms, reaching through the knees. 2 more breaths. When you're done, let an exhale bring you all the way down. Once down, inhale, arch the back. Exhale, flatten. And one more time, inhale, arch the back. And exhale, flatten. You can relax the back to neutral. And then bring one knee followed by the other into the chest. Wrap the arms around the knees, hug the knees close. We're going to do our twist with the displacement of the hips.
So I'm gonna ask everyone, after giving themselves a big hug, to return one foot and then the other to the floor. And I'd like you to lift the hips and move them about 3 inches to the left. And then open the arms to T. And with feet either on the floor or bringing knees back to the chest, take both knees over to the right. And turn your head to the left. And let the body become heavy, soft. Let yourself be at ease. What does that mean to you? Does that feel like a foreign concept, to be at ease? What would you imagine ease to feel like? Soften, breathe, release. And staying here 4 more breaths. When done, inhaling everything to center. Bring feet to floor and realign the pelvis so the spine feels long and neutral. And let yourself rest and feel neutral for a moment. Sensing inward. And then before we go knees left, we're going to displace the hips to the right. And then maybe bringing knees to chest or starting with feet on the floor. You're going to exhale, knees to the left, head to the right. Finding that same twist on the opposite side. Scanning the body. Softening wherever you are able. Wherever you are able. Three more breaths on this side. When you are done, to inhale, knees and head to center. Once in center, knees can come to chest. The spine is not neutral, adjust. And then as ready, to please lay yourself out in Shavasana for final relaxation. Like to dim a light or wrap up in a blanket, take a moment to do so. And as you settle, begin to follow the breath. And sense the tide of breath rising and falling in the abdomen. And floating upon that tide is a bright, round sphere, the moon. Sense the moon floating on the breath in the belly. And as you inhale, the moon slips into the darkness. And on the exhale, the moon represents itself. It shines its face. Inhale, the moon slips into darkness. Exhale, the moon reappearing. Use this as your focal point. Stay with the breath and allow everything else to slip into silence, ease, and stillness. As you follow breath, its wave of motion, and the moon following that motion. Each exhale softening, releasing, and letting go.